Welcome to World Talk Brief.
Our men are dying. The Ukrainian gene pool is dying. Those are the chilling words of Maxim, a soldier serving on Ukraine's eastern front line. And they cut straight to the heart of a crisis that goes far beyond the battlefield. This is a struggle for the very future of the nation itself.
So this whole situation has forced soldiers like Maxim to face an almost unimaginable choice. It's a choice that connects a very personal dream of having a family with a national fight for survival. And it's about a legacy that could just maybe outlast the war itself.
To really get this, we need to start with one soldier's story. Maxim is 35 years old. He's with Ukraine's National Guard. And while he was on leave, he and his wife made a critical decision, one that thousands of other soldiers are now facing too. He went to a clinic in Kyiv to freeze a sperm sample. Now, this wasn't just a grim plan for the worst-case scenario. For Maxim and his wife, it was about being proactive. If he were killed, she could still have the child they've always wanted. But, the threat isn't just death, it's the war itself.
And this quote from him really highlights the two-front war these soldiers are fighting. You've got the constant physical danger, drones, attacks, you name it. But then there's the immense psychological toll. As Maxim points out, that chronic, unrelenting stress can directly impact fertility, making it harder to start a family even for the guys who make it home.
So Maxim's very personal choice is actually a direct response to a much bigger national emergency. See, Ukraine was already facing a demographic problem before 2022, but the full-scale invasion, it's turned a slow decline into an absolute catastrophe.
You've got all these factors just crashing together to create a perfect storm. The country is losing its youngest and fittest men on the battlefield. Millions of women and children have had to flee as refugees. And on top of all that, there's this thing called delayed life syndrome, where people are just so stressed and uncertain they're putting off huge life decisions, like having kids.
And if you want to see just how devastating that is, look at this number. One major fertility clinic in Kyiv has seen its number of pregnant patients drop by half. 50%. It's a direct reflection of the fear people are living with. I mean, as one clinic director put it, women are scared to get pregnant when they might have to run to a bomb shelter at any moment.
Facing this crisis, the Ukrainian government knew it had to do something. So what started out as a few private initiatives has now become a full-on, state-sponsored program, a kind of genetic insurance for the entire nation.
You can really see how this thing grew. Back in 2022, it was private clinics that started offering this service for free. By 2023, the government stepped in, passed a formal law, and put up the funding. And now, state-run facilities have officially started offering the service, turning it into a real national strategy.
This is Oksana Dmitrieva. She's a member of parliament who helped write the law. And her words, they really capture the spirit behind it all. It's an effort to give something back to the soldiers who are out there defending the country, a chance at the very future they're fighting for. But the first version of that law had a pretty devastating flaw.
And this is where the good intentions of the policy crashed into a really painful reality. For some families, this new law actually created an impossible barrier, which led to a public outcry and a heartbreaking legal fight for one war widow.
So get this. The original law said that if a soldier died, their biological samples had to be destroyed. Just gone. That basically blocked their surviving partners from ever using them. After a huge public outcry, the law was changed. Now the samples are preserved for 3 years after death, and a partner can use them, but only if they have written consent from before he died.
And that flaw in the law became agonizingly clear because of Katerina Malishko's story. She and her husband Vitaly had already gone through fertility treatment and created 3 viable embryos. But after he was killed in a guided bomb attack, the clinic told her she had no legal right to use them.
Katerina was forced into a grueling 6-month legal battle. Can you imagine? While grieving her husband, she had to go to court and fight for the right to have his child. She said the moment the judge finally ruled in her favor was this mix of total joy and profound grief, because she had to fight so damn hard just to honor their shared dream.
Katerina's fight really goes to show that while this program is a huge step, it's not some simple fix. There are still major cultural and logistical hurdles to get over if this is really going to help preserve Ukraine's future.
The challenges that are left are pretty complex. For one, there's a cultural stigma around male fertility that can make soldiers hesitant to even sign up. Then there's the widespread psychological trauma of war, which affects everything. And as Katerina's story shows, the law itself is still being ironed out to make sure it actually helps the families it's supposed to protect.
And this brings us right back to that question from the beginning. This decision
to freeze their genetic material. It gives a soldier a little bit of peace in a place where there is none. Like Maxim said, it's one less thing for me to worry about. It's a small, real action that connects one person's hope for a family to the nation's hope for a future generation.
But in the end, it's Katerina Malishka's words that capture what's truly at stake here. This is about more than demographics or laws. It's about legacy, it's about justice, and it's about the fundamental right for a new generation of Ukrainians to live in the country their parents died to protect. Subscribe to World Talk Brief for more clear, thoughtful explanations.